So I'll be brief. I've had a very generous portion of what Thomas Mann calls vitamin P. P stands for praise, or another favorite author I thought it was Anatole France, who says somewhere, est-il possible que j'ai eu tant d'esprit? Is it possible that I've been so clever? We all celebrated my 80 years. 80 years ago, I was born in the Swiss city of Geneva, where my parents had fled. And I recently discovered a document from the municipality of Geneva addressed to my parents, and it said that had come to their notice that another person had joined them, and they gave my parents a week to see to it that that person would return to the place where he had come from. Well, my parents didn't follow their advice, and they took me to the Netherlands, where they had come from. So that was 80 years ago. I'm now, I think it would be only fair to mention some of the people who helped me settle here. The first I'd like to mention is Mordechai Gichon. When I joined an excavation of his, he addressed me and said, "You are my secret weapon." I didn't know why I was a secret weapon. I still don't know why I was that, but I understood then that he was an army historian. Well, he gave me the first job I had here, and a colleague of mine told me, your salary will be just enough for food. Well, that was a bit optimistic. It was hardly enough for food, but that is now 53 years ago, and I have no complaints about the money I'm paid. We eat as much as we can, or perhaps more than we should. Another person I should mention is Shalom Perlman. He was chair of the department at the time, and he also was my supervisor for a thesis. When I mentioned it to him, he said, not enthusiastic, "Well, the topic is a topic." No, it is a book, fairly generously cited. And then I should also mention Zvi Javets. I should mention him for another reason. Once I came home and Ida mentioned that someone had called and had talked for a long time about how excellent I was, and he was called Zvi Javets. Zvi Javets I should mention because he was instrumental in getting me my first sabbatical at the Institute in Princeton, and then, no less important, he transferred to me his chair, the Lessing Chair of Ancient History. So I've got a lot to be grateful for, not least these very generous hours. I've enjoyed listening to you here. I hope this will be published in some form so that I can digest it more than I could by just listening to the talks. Very excellent, very interesting. All of them focused on the sort of subjects I've always been interested in: ethnics, ethnicity, urbanization, and the ethnic strife, I should mention, Jewish history and antiquity. It's all been discussed at a high level, and I enjoyed it so much. I also enjoyed it because some of the speakers were PhD students of mine. Perhaps they taught me more than I've been able to teach them. I can't judge that. Then there were the people who joined our department when I was its chair. I just remember my second meeting with Jonathan Price, because he said nobody ever remembers a graduate student. I did remember him as a graduate student, but it's the I could go on. I could go on for hours remembering, and I shan't do that now. I just want to express my gratitude for the interesting afternoon we've had, and the generosity of you all in coming here and supplying your dose of vitamin P to me. Thank you.